What was the other thing you wanted to talk about? You said you had 1A and 1B over here for the top stories you want to talk about here.
Oh, boy. This tournament.
Oh, boy.
Everything Continental Classic. So it kind of felt like it was going to be a big deal. And I think they did a good job at making it a big deal. All right. I'll give them that much. They wanted to stress how important it was. Fine. It was important. It feels like they want to make it as big as the G1. And I think that was the ultimate decision as to why we got the winner that we got, because they kept booking him or touting that he was the best tournament wrestler of all time and everything like that. But it just came off as completely convoluted and nonsensical in to the point of the booking decisions. Why they pushed someone like Kyle Fletcher as hard as they did, give him the big wins that he got, just to come up short in the tournament and then have the guy who beat him end up losing. Fletcher didn't come out of this tournament looking as strong as they wanted us to believe that he was. He did not come off as that big of a deal. I thought, as a viewer, I thought this tournament was basically there to help us believe that Kyle Fletcher is the real deal. So if he wasn't going to win, I think he should have won. If he wasn't going to win, I would think he would at least wind up in the finals and then just come a hair short or something like that. But that didn't happen. So it feels like that was a fail, trying to get Kyle Fletcher off in this tournament as being a big deal. And then the booking decisions around everything. You said they made changes and everything else, but then when they made the changes, they didn't need to make the changes. So why did they make the fucking changes?
Jesse wasn't here for the Collision review that we did on Saturday. I wish he was. We had a great time on the Collision stream. I know it was, Christmas weekend. Dynamite, we did Christmas Day. He wasn't here as well for that. I ranted about the changes. Jesse and I knew the changes were there. We talked about it day one when we came on here 7 weeks ago for the Continental Classic. We talked about the changes and how we didn't understand why changes were made. Changes like that didn't need to be made. Tony made changes to the Continental Classic, and the changes that he made were the Gold League and the Blue League semifinals last year happened within its own league. So number 1 and number 2 of the Blue League went and wrestled in the semifinals. Number 1 and number 2 in the Gold League wrestled in the semifinals. And the winners of both of those leagues, it would be the Gold League versus the Blue League in the finals. Now, this year they changed it to those European-style football rules. It was number 1 in the Blue League versus number 1 in the Gold League, and number 2 in the Blue League versus number 2 in the Gold League. So he made changes for the sake of making changes so that he could shill it to the sickos that, hey, look, I'm making changes to what we are building upon with the tournament. Meanwhile, what he did was basically get us from point A to point B back to point A. Nothing was really changed because we got to the same point that we were gonna get if he didn't change the rules at all. So it's like, what the fuck did you change the rules for? The reason he changed the rules to the tournament is because he wanted fresh matchups and he didn't want to land on rematches in the semifinals. I'm sorry, what? What you got tonight in the opening match of this fucking pay-per-view was a rematch that happened 4 weeks ago at Full Gear. And then the finals of this fucking tournament was a rematch from what we saw in New Japan between Okada and Will Ospreay. So please tell me how you're booking the changes to give us fresh new matchups in the tournament. Don't really understand it. Another change he did was have both of these guys wrestle twice in one night, which is fucking crazy seeing how both of these guys wrestle. All 4 of these guys to be exact. I mean, injuries can happen, and the high probability of injuries happening with the style that these guys wrestle is very likely. So you're running the risk of someone getting injured on a night and then having the whole fucking tournament fucked because you want to have an epic conclusion to the tournament where one guy has to win 2 times in one night. I think that's ridiculous, whatever the case may be. So we get to the changes, and I'm going to start on Collision, Jesse. I don't know if you watched Collision. It was Will Ospreay versus Ricochet at the Hammerstein Ballroom. They had a very good match. I actually enjoyed the match because Ricochet got some heel heat. He wrestled a better match with Will Ospreay than he did on the 5-year anniversary show. And the ending of the match actually played into a story that would be born in the tournament. Ricochet cheated twice by pushing the referee into the ropes. And he won against Will Ospreay without the referee knowing that he was pushed by Ricochet at the end of the match. So Ricochet gets the victory over Will Ospreay. They go and cut a promo backstage with Stephon Smith, the referee of that match, and Will Ospreay. And Will Ospreay's asking, where's Ricochet? Where's Ricochet? You didn't see him push you? And Stephon Smith said, I didn't really see anything, but I did feel someone pushed me. So he goes to find Ricochet, and he's confronting Ricochet. You cheated. You pushed the referee. That's terrible, blah, blah, blah. And Ricochet said, I didn't do nothing. Go back and watch the tape. I didn't cheat. I didn't do anything. So you had a story in that match. So I'm saying, all right, we're going to get Ricochet, Will Ospreay in the semifinals of this tournament. And I come to find out because I fucking remembered, because everybody was letting me know, JD, the rules for the tournament were changed. I'm like, what? To what? So then I remembered that it was the semifinals are going to be Blue League versus Gold League. So we get to this pay-per-view tonight. And I'm saying, I don't believe that they played Ricochet and Ospreay at the Hammerstein Ballroom with this fucking story playing out that Ricochet cheated against Will Ospreay to get the advantage in the tournament, only to not see it play out in the semifinals where Ospreay would get his win back. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing? You changed the rules of the tournament to give us fresh matchups, and then you gave us this story in the tournament, and you never saw it play out. It was almost as if they forgot they changed the rules to their own tournament. So we got Ospreay versus Fletcher, and none of them had anything to do with each other in this entire tournament. But you had Ricochet and Ospreay played out with that situation at Hammerstein that doesn't see a conclusion at this pay-per-view. Jesse, please tell me that I'm right, because I swear to fucking God, man, nobody understands where the fuck I'm coming from, man. I swear to God, this is what we wanted from the tournament, and they completely bypassed story in the tournament to give us what they gave us tonight, which I'll get to in a second. Jesse, what did you think of all this transpiring?
None of this makes any sense to the point of why. Okay, we talked about this before. Why do you need to make changes to a tournament that you created when there's nothing that happened during the tournament to force your hand to make changes? Like, you booked the tournament and then all of a sudden a major injury happened. Okay, I could see that playing out to the sense of, well, yeah, this injury happened and we can't just replace that person because that changes the dynamic of the tournament. So we changed the rules. Nothing like that happened. If you sit down and you book this with thought behind it, everything will play out the exact way you put it down on paper. So why would you make changes after you've already announced the tournament? That literally tells me that you didn't sit down and think everything through before you laid it out to the fans. If you just put it down, play it out, this person wins, this match, oh shit, I want to have fresh matches. Don't do it this way. No one sat down, played it out, read it out, thought it out, and then had somebody go over it, because you did that after you made the tournament public, which now means that it looks like to us that you're not doing the things you need to do to make sure that this tournament plays out well on TV. Why was this not caught before the tournament went live? It makes no sense. Unless you want to say we had an injury. You come up with an injury to a major name in the tournament, fine. We'll play along with your tournament changes. But this seems like you just did it because you didn't think it out before you rolled it out. What the fuck happened? Why? I mean, I can get past the fact of, okay, I think Fletcher should have won. Fine, that's just what I think. That doesn't mean that's what had to happen. But why would you end up making changes to a tournament that you already rolled out?
The changes that he made to the tournament were not the appropriate changes needed for this tournament. The Continental title is fucking useless. Number one. I don't understand the logic behind somebody being a champion all year, only to give up his championship in this tournament and then have to go through all these fucking weeks and then not finish in the finals and lose the tournament, lose the title in this tournament. It's so fucking stupid to me. And I ask, who the fuck would want to be the Continental Champion if they got to go through these circles, jump through these rings of fire for this fucking title? It's fucking stupid. It's absolutely a waste of anybody's time. You got to be the biggest fucking idiot if you want to be the Continental Champion. Number one. Number two, I don't know why the changes weren't made to omit the fucking championship and just make it a first year thing, and then the following years have it be for the number one contendership for the AEW World Title. If you're wrestling the way that Will Ospreay wrestled tonight and throughout the 7 weeks of this tournament, and the final prize is the Continental Title, I mean, bro, the AEW Championship should be the light at the end of the tunnel for wrestling 7 weeks of the most grueling tournament that the company has all year. What the fuck are you doing? It is ridiculous how you look at the Continental Championship and want or desire to be that champion, knowing that you have this tournament looking at you. And if you don't finish, it's over. How stupid is that?
Or look, if for whatever reason they want this tournament to exist in the current form that it's in, fine. But why not just have the Continental Champion just be the final boss? Why is he in the tournament?
Or that. Why is he?
I'm not fighting shit. You guys fight for weeks upon weeks, and when you get done, then I'll be waiting for your ass at the end of the tunnel. Why does he have to go through and compete like this?
I don't understand. The creative in this company, when you guys open your eyes to what we're actually talking about, you will see at one point or another, one day, most of you who do not see what we are seeing, you will. And I'll be expecting, and Jesse will be expecting those apologies. This tournament was an absolute fucking fail. Tony will never admit it. The people that work there will keep their fucking mouth shut, and they will never say anything to his face because they don't want to risk the fucking paycheck that they're getting every week to do nothing. This tournament was a waste of fucking time. With what you did tonight and the way you ended this tournament, it was a fucking waste of time. Do you want to know why it was a waste of time? Because Tony Khan has this fucking fetish with Japanese pro wrestling. He loves Japanese pro wrestling. He could not wait to get Okada and Omega in the ring together for a sixth fucking time after we saw this once, twice, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Why is it going to be any different? And how important is it going to be a 6th time in AEW after we've seen it 5 fucking times already in New Japan Pro Wrestling? So what Tony Khan did tonight is he took Kyle Fletcher, who steamrolled through this tournament and beat Okada in this tournament to go 9 points before anybody else. And Kyle Fletcher should have won this tournament single-handedly. The whole tournament should have been about building Kyle Fletcher up to be the biggest new superstar that the company puts their stamp of approval on. If you're not building new stars, if you're not building for tomorrow, what the fuck are you even doing in the pro wrestling business, and why are you calling yourself head booker of AEW? You should have that title immediately revoked from every fucking newspaper and every letterhead in the entire company. This pissed me off so much. And I got grifters, these positivity fucking grifters, telling me Kyle Fletcher doesn't need the fucking tournament. Yes, he fucking does, motherfucker.
Oh, yes, he does.
Yes, he does. Because you wasted 7 weeks of a tournament for Kenny Omega and Kazuchika Okada, and the Continental Championship didn't even need to be on the line for us to get the fucking match and what we got tonight. You actively ruined Kyle Fletcher, you ruined Will Ospreay, and you ruined Ricochet's momentum. 1, 2, 3 in the same fucking night, and nobody's gonna call attention to it because you're all blinded by the fact that this fucking hack has a Japanese fetish that nobody understands. What the fuck are we doing, bro? What are we doing?
I don't think Ricochet ever had any momentum to lose.
Listen. It may be cringe, but he's got more momentum now than 6 years in WWE. He's obviously doing something right, which we'll get to in a little bit because he was again cucked out tonight.
Yeah, he was. No, so there was some good from the tournament, and I would like to see a return just for this reason. It gave so many matches meaning on television. That was about it. I mean, how many times have you watched a match and said, why is this match happening? Now it's happening because of the tournament. Great, that's fine. So when you redo this, you have weeks upon weeks of matches you can be giving us. This tournament doesn't have to last just 6 weeks, 7 weeks. Let it go on forever. Let it be one match a week for God knows how long. Who gives a shit? It gives matches meaning on TV. But when you get to the end, you've got to straighten that shit out. The champion shouldn't be in a tournament. The champion should be waiting for the tournament to end, and then you can blow that shit off at a pay-per-view. That's great. Why do we have to have 2 matches this night, 2 matches on Collision, 2 matches? What is the rush? It can go through another pay-per-view. It doesn't have to only get done between pay-per-views. Them shits can go on for a couple. Who gives a shit? Let the importance of the tournament ride. 1 match a week. That's it. And I don't like people losing in tournaments either. I think that's bullshit. If you lose, you're out. Forget this round robin bullshit. If you win, you advance. If you lose, you're out. That's the kind of tournament that we are used to here in America. Okay, just 1 win, advance. When you get to the end of the fucking train, the champion is waiting for you. He's fresh. If you can still beat that champion, great. But at the end of the day, don't forget what tournaments are all about. They're about telling stories and getting someone over. And like you said, I don't think Kazuchika Okada needed to get over at all in this tournament. He can't be any more over. So Kyle Fletcher, that was your shining star. That was your guy. That was someone you could have said this tournament was to get Kyle Fletcher over as a superstar. And you would have done exactly that if you just would have had him win the tournament. You could, if you keep the champion out of the fucking tournament, you can have Kyle Fletcher win the tournament, be the winner of the Continental Classic. Go on, and if you want to still beat him at the end with Okada, fine. Make it a great showing, make it a reason why it happened, or whatever the fucking case. But Kyle Fletcher was still the winner of the tournament. He still went on and dominated the tournament. So you missed that ball. You missed the fact of you had a chance to make a new star. And that was Kyle Fletcher. Maybe you wanted to choose Ricochet to make a new star because God knows he could use that momentum, but you failed at that. Ricochet looks worse. No one should be coming out of the tournament looking worse than they did when they fucking started. That is an absolute fucking fail.
I don't understand how these fucking grifters on social media don't see where we're coming from. You know how many people were telling me, oh, Kyle Fletcher's going to be fine coming out of this tournament. Will Ospreay's going to win the international title, and he's going to pass the torch at Grand Slam in Australia. Where the fuck is that happening? They're going to have the title on Okada for All In, so he defends the title at Omega 7 months from now. What the fuck does that mean for Kyle Fletcher? Oh my God, man, he gets his win over Will Ospreay in Australia in February. Fuck me with that garbage. Then I got some other idiot telling me, oh, Tony's going to put the TNT title on him. What are you fucking kidding me? The guy went through 7 weeks of a tournament to prove to everybody he's the best pro wrestler in the world, and he gets cucked out in the tournament because Tony wants Omega and Okada, and he wasted every possible resource so that he could get this one simple stare down at the end of this tournament, which meant absolutely nothing to anybody. And Kenny Omega, the last time we saw Kenny Omega, he was being carted out on a stretcher because the Elite attacked him before he had surgery for diverticulitis. Jack Perry's putting intestines over a birthday cake, telling Kenny Omega happy birthday in a disgusting moment on Dynamite. And Kenny Omega comes out and he presents the title to Kazuchika Okada, who's a part of the Elite and a part of everything that happened to Kenny Omega. He hands him the title and he does nothing. And he says, here's your new Continental Champion. What the fuck? Kenny Omega is not back looking for fucking bloodshed on everybody that put him out for 8 months, 9 months? What are we doing?
I personally thought that this was them saying that Kenny Omega was done with his in-ring work and he was just going to be an EVP and take Christopher Daniels' spot. I thought this was them saying that he was done wrestling because of his illness. I didn't know what was going on.
This guy was beat up and attacked with diverticulitis by these people. He just comes back and he hands Okada the title. What? What am I watching here? What human being would look at another man who put him out and doesn't want revenge? Here's your title, man. Congratulations. I'll see you in July. What?
Also, bro, all right, do me a quick favor. In the chat, please type out that how you did not and do not ever go into the AEW pre-show.
How can I be in the fucking scrum when I'm right here and my hands are here? You fucking idiots. Look.
No. In the pre-show. Not just the scrum, the pre-show too. Pre-show. So put that right there in the chat and then pin it. Because people keep popping in here thinking, oh, that's it. That is not him. He does not go to the pre-show or the scrums. That is not us. And it does not happen. The thing is, you think that enough people know it by now. Some people still fucking believe it, bro. Some people still actually think.
It's unbelievable how fucking brain rot people are. How could I be in the fucking media scrum chat on AEW's YouTube channel when I'm right here? All you gotta do is go to the channel and see, oh, look, this guy's live.
Every time, every month, they still, oh, why is JD in this chat? I stopped caring. I just closed the chat. The thing is, people know. They even do a multiple accounts. Oh, look, JD's trolling in there. And then they go back to the JD account. Look, I'm JD. And they still believe it every fucking time. Just pin that shit to this stream right here. So when they pop up to find out why you were trolling in the pre-show or the buy-in and why you're trolling in the scrum, it's not you. People are fucking stupid. I texted them earlier, like, dude, they're still doing it. And he was like, I don't know why they don't just ban them from. First off, they don't have moderators monitoring those fucking streams. First. And second, they don't care.
All you gotta do is look at my name in this chat. There is a check mark next to my name. If you don't see a verified check mark in any YouTube chat, it is not me.
They are fucking people, bro. But nonetheless, yes, Ricochet is not doing himself any fucking favors.
Ricochet and Ospreay, bro. They should have had a semifinal match, and it should have been Fletcher and Okada. Ricochet and Ospreay had a story. Fletcher and Okada had a story. They could have done these matches, and we still could have got to the same place, no matter what changes were to the tournament brackets. But what they did is they gave us Ospreay and Okada because it's New Japan. Then we got Kenny Omega and Okada because it's New Japan. My problem is they actively, Will Ospreay, like you said, bro, to your point, Will Ospreay lost 3 times in this tournament. He's the hottest babyface in the entire company. Kyle Fletcher is the young Randy Orton-like up-and-comer baby, a new guy in the company. They're building a fucking a huge thing around this kid, making him into a star. He loses tonight, and by the end of the fucking night, he's forgotten. And if anybody thinks that Kyle Fletcher is going to go into 2025 and they're going to give this kid any fucking momentum, it's dead. It's dead. He's going to be ice cold in 2025. So spare me the bullshit. And then Ricochet, he was treated as badly as he's ever been treated on AEW television. I don't know if this is all planned, if they're going to do something to enhance this character even more so. I don't know if he's going through a humiliation Illuminati fucking ritual. I don't fucking know what they're doing with this guy. But holy shit, you killed 3 birds with 1 stone to get us Kenny Omega and Okada. That's not happening for 7 months, supposedly, because all they did, I mean, they clearly foreshadow it. They got these 2 guys standing with the all-in poster fucking huge in the background. Gee, I wonder where that match is taking place.
Yeah, you pinned the wrong comment, by the way.
I pinned the wrong comment.
Yeah, you did.
Oh. Oops. The chat's moving so fucking quick.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, they are.
There you go. Oh my God, man! It's so bad, bro.
I'll tell you this for the people that say, "Oh, you just complained about." Overall in ring work, I had fun watching the show. All right, I text someone who's at the show tonight. She said that she's having fun. The energy was there. She had fun with the show. The in-ring work is normally pretty good with this company, man. It really is. It's just when you get done watching the in-ring work and then you try to put together the story that they're telling, it's fucking convoluted. It makes no sense. It gives you a headache. It's to the point when it happens so many times that we're sitting here and we have this kind of reaction. So we have like almost 4,000 people here. I don't want someone to tune in and think this is how we act all the time for the show for everything. That's not how it is. We watch this shit every week. We hear week in and week out, and we try to make sense of the stories that they're telling us after these great matches are happening, and it's really hard to do. It shouldn't be hard to do. It shouldn't be a puzzle to figure out.
Why do they always get it wrong, Jesse? Why do they always get it wrong? I mean, we have been spot on for 50 minutes now. Like, I don't understand this shit. It's so fucking... I don't even work for the fucking company, and I could see what's right and what's wrong. Why? If you don't see that it's one man doing this for himself, I don't know what else needs to be done. Kyle Fletcher should have won this fucking tournament. You go all the way or you don't go at all. The Continental Championship probably wouldn't have done a fucking thing for Kyle Fletcher because the title itself is dead. But you gave this kid win after win after win, statement after statement, for him to go into this tournament and lose as soon as he gets to the semifinals and not even give him a shot to win over this fucking crowd. You know, he wins this tournament and people look at him a little bit differently. He wins this tournament. The company solidifies a new star on this night instead of the predictable bullshit that people are shilling out there. Oh, he's going to get it in Australia. Fuck waiting another 2 months for something to happen. You have an opportunity to do it now. You do it now. This kid should have won the fucking tournament and none of this will be a goddamn problem.